I didn't
It
think.
didn't feel like it stuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's
down
okay.
here.
We're
this
live.
color it did.
Okay, but it did stick though.
That's pretty. I like it. What color is that?
This was
Evergreen
black,
bow.
black soot at the bottom. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, sorry, my phone case has slipped.
Are you doing a demo on that?
Okay, we can turn on our microphones.
Woohoo!
It's Monday, as most of you maybe know. Some of you maybe Monday, in case you didn't know that.
If you're retired, you don't know. It's every day's Saturday. That's what Dennis says. Every day's a Saturday.
That's what we hear. That's what we hear.
Every day's a Saturday.
So, and we know it's Monday because Teresa's here. Although Teresa's here twice this week, so that's even double.
Monday and Wednesday.
Double Teresa's even better. So
Wednesday's
we're gonna come over here and see all these Tim Holtz-style cards that Teresa made. And first, we have a couple things to show, and then we're going to bop right back to Teresa. So, hello, everybody that's joining us. Happy Monday. We're so glad to be here, aren't we, Dawn?
Good morning. Absolutely. We're always happy
Peggy
to be
says
here.
hi from Ohio, and she put a little flower next to her name. So that's pretty
Aw,
sweet.
That's awesome.
So lots of people joining us. We've
Very
got
good. We got some great
we got
announcements.
lots of announcements,
Lots-
which I love.
lots
I
of
love.
announcements.
Where do you
But,
want to start, Dawn? Or-
Well, the big one is we raised $1,453 with the help of all of our wonderful viewers. We raised $1,453 for the food pantry. So thank
That
you
is
to all of
amazing.
our viewers.
We're
for-
going to get a lot of hearts for that.
for bidding on all the store samples and the cards and everything that we've used on our daily demos. And so thank you for purchasing and participating in the auction or the sale. But all that money is going to a great cause.
And we've already paid. We've already sent it, so hopefully they'll start working with it right away.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And the next big announcement is, as long as supplies last, if you come into the store, you place an online order for $50 or more, you are going to get this awesome Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine. And it is a good one. I looked at it quickly.
You can call your order in or come in or lots of different. It is good.
And
I've got one in my bag to check out. I haven't.
really good ideas. So it has layouts, and then it also has card ideas. So it's a good one. Love that. Really, really fun ideas. Even some tag ideas. So if you're working on tags, mini book idea, if you're getting ready for the holidays, this is a really fun book.
There's Valentine's
Or
Day.
if you're looking ahead to Valentine's Day, it's even got Valentine cards in it.
Wow.
And some stitching. Look at that. It's just full of wonderful ideas. So it is free with a $50 order. So it's very, very exciting.
And that would be before shipping, so it doesn't include shipping.
Yes, yes. So very good, very good. So do we want to talk about the schedule for this
Yes,
week?
I think we should.
Okay, all right. So this might never ever happen again in the history of Memory Bound, but we are going to tell you the schedule for this whole week for our demos. We're that on top of it this week. I don't know how that's ever.
Something every day scheduled?
We do. We have something
We have
scheduled
something
for
pre-scheduled
every
daily.
day. So tomorrow I am going to be here and I am going to be demoing this amazing Pink Fresh mountain stencil set. Oh my gosh, I loved it. And we can even do
Wow,
layouts
Dawn even
with
did a
it.
layout.
And card making, and then all the different ways to make snow. And
So it's like two things, right? It's the mountain and snowmaking.
yeah, or tree mountains with trees.
Trees and snowmaking. So it's like a double.
And then Wednesday, Teresa is back, and Teresa is doing the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yep.
Can't wait to see that. Diane is here on Thursday, and just pan over here. She is going to be showing all of this awesomeness using a lot of Tim Holtz products and using her stash, and then a lot of new things too. But Look at this little light up tree.
Got a
in
little
the back.
light up tree, a little box
She's going
with
to be
tags.
sharing. It's
This is her, a lot of her
amazing.
decor things that she does.
Yeah, she sets out
And
around
what day
her
is that,
house.
Dawn?
That is Thursday.
Okay.
And then Friday, Becky, she's been here before. She is back, and she has a countdown box that she's going to share with us. So wonderful, wonderful week of lots of inspiration for you guys to.
And that's a pretty good transition because that's what
Yes, and speaking of countdown,
I hope
Chris
Chris is watching. I haven't
Yes.
seen her name, but I hope you're watching because it was so sweet of you to drop this off.
Look at these, even have magnets on the back. But she made a countdown box, or put it all in a box, and count down to Christmas Day. So maybe you can put that on the outside. And then here's card number 11. And so they're just all decorated. Here's 14.
And these are the cut aparts. Oh, I want to go. Would you mind going, Teresa, getting the new?
I know exactly where
Oh, Diane's going to get it. She used the 2x2 cut aparts. You might recognize these. I can't talk. If you're a Doodlebug fan, you're going to recognize this is all made with Doodlebug. It's so darn cute.
And she made these out of chipboard, so they're very sturdy, so you're going to be able to use them every year. That was number 9, number 19. So really fun to just set out for the holidays and have a fun little home decor. But way to go, Chris. These
Count
are
down because you can't wait till it gets here.
absolutely just a really fun project for the kids.
Thank you, Diane.
love it. So here's what she.
This
here's
isn't
what
the
she used.
paper she used. She used an earlier collection, but it's just like this.
Same
With
thing.
the
And
numbers
it's even
and
got
the
the
2x2s.
numbers. And there's that my favorite goat.
All I can think of is goat yoga because that a few years ago that was kind of a thing, and I thought it was kind of crazy then.
But Chris and hers didn't have the numbers on it, but or not all of them did. But you can even use stamps to put your numbers on it. So like there, she put a 2. Like the 17 was on there, but she stamped some of them also.
So each one has the 2x2 cut apart. See, I'm having trouble. I'm glad I'm not showing anything today. And then some ephemera or a doodle pop or
that
another
doodle
little
pop is
cut apart piece.
Or she even made them into her own doodle pops because she put foam underneath them, and they look adorable. My gosh! So thank you very, very much, Chris, for sharing that with us. I love it. It's so cute, and if anybody
Thank
is
you,
looking for a
Chris.
countdown, this would be an adorable one.
That was really sweet of you to bring that in, Chris. Thank you so very much. And
Okay.
Dawn, Lisa says she thinks of the goat puppet that the kids used in The Sound of Music.
music. Absolutely, yes, that's a good one. I love it.
And Beth says you have a coat on, and it's cuddle dud season.
It's a shacket. It's a shacket.
All right. That works.
Not really, but it's. I've had it off. I've had it on. I've had it off. I've had it on. So it just depends how much I'm up and running around if I need it. Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and
All right.
we're
Thanks,
going to
Dawn.
turn it over to Teresa.
Dawn, she said it's cuddle dud season for her.
Yeah.
Beth, so.
it is cuddle.
And today especially, the high is 26.
yeah.
And it's terribly windy out. I don't know, maybe.
But I want you to know the wind chill in Mason City this morning was -1.
Oh.
That's
Whoa.
cold. That's pretty darn
That's
cold.
freezing. Well, I think it's cold here too.
Teresa, these so cute.
Yeah, Teresa's got some really neat techniques, and Tim Holtz. I labeled it as Tim Holtz.
Yes.
Tim Holtz is.
This is a Tim Holtz. And, you know, they're not all rusticy and, what does he,
Like
vintagey.
shabby, vintage.
Some, shabby. You can use these stamps that way, which I do a lot, but you can also make them bright and colorful and clean, so you don't have to make them shabby. You just need to think outside the box a little bit. And I used mainly two stamp sets, a couple more that I'll talk about, but the Holiday Things, which is really fun, $29.99. And these are shapes. Has he had these before?
I don't
Some
think
of them?
so. I
No?
don't think so.
They're just really fun, small little shapes that you can use on cards or tags or scrapbooks. I really like them because they're they seem to be a perfect size.
Well,
they're not
they
too
are.
big. You don't have to color them in.
Well, and you're getting a variety because it's not
Yeah.
all greens. It's not all like
Right.
Santa. It's not all stars. You get a little bit of
Right.
everything.
And you
like
can use
13
them-
shapes.
Yep, you can use them for different things. And then, of course, he has the bold tidings. And these are, he's had these sentiments before. This is the Bold Tidings Mini for $29.99. And these are all his older sentiments that he's had in the past, shrunk down on one page. And I really like the Bold Tidings. I
Yeah,
have the regular
I
one
think
and
he
the
did a good
Halloween
job.
one. But shrunk down, these are the perfect size for me too. So, and these could also go on a scrapbook page or a tag or a card. They're really nice. Like
The
'em.
bold ones kind of take over your project in a good way. Like
Yeah.
if you had that holly jolly for Christmas and you put that on your card, that's really about all you need
Yep.
is that on your card. Mm-hmm. And it looks like the smaller ones just allow for a little bit more embellishing and decorating.
Yep. All right. So I guess I'll just start with the bright ones. This one I just took the sentiments and I messed around with them until I got them. I used a slimline card, and that's the number, what is it, 6? No.
Yeah, number six from Photo Play.
And those are $2.99. And it's fun to have this package if you ever have a long image. I didn't think I would like them, but then I started using it and I'm like, hey, this is perfect for long images. It's kind of the size of the number 8 tag. So if you like those tags,
yeah.
it's the perfect size for that. So
And you get 10 in there for
yeah.
$2.99.
And we have
they're-
envelopes too.
I love it that they came up with that pack.
Yeah, so I, of course, did the rainbow. I just wanted it to be really bright, and so then I heat embossed the Merry and Bright and popped it up so that that was the point of my card, is to be merry and bright. And you can see it's not perfect. I did stamp it out first just to try it, and then when I did my did my card, then my little orange one was a little bit. One of them's crooked. I can't see upside down.
Did you stamp those all at the same time, Teresa? Like, did
No.
you lay it all out, or you did them individually?
I did them individually.
Okay,
So
I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, you could mask. I suppose that would have been maybe smarter to mask the colors and do them.
Oh, yeah, you would have to do that.
Yeah.
No, I think it looks good. I love the idea.
But if you like the rainbow, you don't have to, it can be a Christmas rainbow too. So that was that one, kind of fun and just very clean and simple. No embellishments. I could have put sequins or something on there, but I just wanted it nice and clean. So
Looks
All right.
good.
the next card, we got that mask in from Tim Holtz. Oh my gosh, it's called the Moon Mask, and it's $7.99. And this came out at Halloween, and we didn't think we were going to be able to get any more.
It took a while, for sure.
And I was really sad, but it is really fun. I use it at Halloween a lot, and you can use it for Christmas. You can really use it for anything. And there's 3 different sizes, and it has a solid, and then it has the earth part. So I use the small one on here, and I splatted it a little bit. I used some of the mica spray. I know we don't have it anymore, but you can see like that big blob right there is shiny. If you have that at home, it's kind of fun to splat. And then I cut it out as a circle. So really these stamps, the words, the minis like that, in coordination with the images, the holiday things, were kind of made so that you could overlap them.
You're so right,
they're
Teresa.
kind of proportional. So I didn't do that on any of my cards.
You didn't do it, but it's made
I
to
thought
do it.
about it, but it's kind of nice. You can kind of see with the moon thing how you can stamp over the edge of it, and it's kind of proportional that way. And then I just put a little bow on it because I thought that would be pretty. It looks like kind of an ornament or something of the earth. I don't know.
I like the colors.
Yeah.
The colors are neat.
Yeah, I put a little bit of, I can't remember, did I write on the back? Yeah. I used Distress ink, a speckled egg, salvage patina, and then a little bit of the villainous on there too. That's what I
For
splattered.
that little bit of splatter in
Yeah,
the purple.
the purple. So I just needed a little pop of color. The blue was too boring. I
Well, purple
I
works
needed
really
something
well with
else.
that color.
Yeah, I liked it. The blue and the patina. I had to get the salvage patina out. I like that. So if you don't have those colors, they're new, they're fun. Then I did get the villainous out again for this one. And this one was Tim has videos. Well, he's had videos on the weekends, and while you're crafting, it's a fun thing to watch if you have 3 hours of time. But this one, what he did is he stamped on paint, and the idea is to offset. So what I did first is I stamped my snowflakes with paint, and then I let it dry, and then I went back over with the villainous ink, and I stamped on that.
And you slid it over just a little bit.
I slid it
so
over.
that it's offset.
And you know, with the red rubber stamps, it's really kind of hard sometimes to line it up perfectly, so you can see
So
mine
it
are
works out
not
perfect, and that's what you want.
Yes, it kind of did that on its own. And I did use the oxide on the paint. That was the oxide.
The villainous.
Yeah, but you could probably use the regular if you have that too. And then I just swiped some white paint after I did my snowflakes, so you can see the ink reacted to the paint because it's wet.
Because it's wet.
Yes. And so I just swiped some white paint on there, and then I waited for that to dry, and then I stamped my sentiment on there with the villainous.
And it looks like your ribbon you stapled on with the tiny attacher.
Yes, I did. And I stained the ribbon with the villainous as well, so that it coordinated.
Very, very neat, Teresa. I love it on the craft. It looks really cool on the craft.
Yeah, you got to use, your craft. If you've got those oxides, then you got to get your craft paper in there somehow. So
Definitely.
yeah. But that was a fun technique. You don't, get your paint out very often and stamp on it. At least I don't. But it's something fun to think about. So, all right, this one is just a bunch of little things. The little collage
The
card.
composition, yes.
Yes. So we've got that Santa on there from the holiday things. There he is. He's probably my favorite piece. He's
It's
like
really
looking
a cute
at
Santa. He's really different.
he's looking at a list. He's a real vintage old time. On this piece here, if you remember when I used the shifters.
So on the tag,
Yep,
that's a
on
shifter?
the tag. So that's a shifter.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
just used, this one is with, Rustic Wilderness. And then on the background, I used hickory smoke and peeled paint. So you can see a little
Kinda
bit of
see
the
some
gray.
gray.
Yep, I wanted a little bit of gray in there because I use gray for my background and on some of my stamps. But that was a shifter with the Rustic Wilderness on both colors. So I went really heavy on my first swipe on my stencil, and then I shifted it over and I went really lightly. I just wanted a candy cane look.
Sometimes I think we forget about Rustic Wilderness for a Christmas color, and it's
Yeah.
a really good green.
Oh, it's a perfect green. That's probably right there. I mean, peeled paint is my go-to green, but for Christmas and green, I like Rustic Wilderness a lot. And the gray looked really nice with it, I
It
thought.
does. I like it.
Yeah. And so if you need little tags, the little things that go on there, we're out of the holiday postmarks, but that's what I used. Some of you probably have that one. This is an older stamp, and we can order it if you want, but it's it's kind of my go-to because I like postage stamps, and I just love the canceled pieces here, and it's got a little hand. It just has some different things on it. So if you like that,
There's a generic postmarks too, so maybe people might already have that one.
Yeah. This one, you could use if you're looking for little. Oh, this has a nice little. That's nice.
Yeah,
I
little
like
background.
that. Little strips of things. Are those postmarks? Yeah, those are postmarks. A to from. So you could do the same thing with this stamp. It's a vintage holidays. There's the one you were talking about, Kelly. This one's called Mail Art. And shockingly, I do not have this stamp.
I'm surprised, Teresa. What's wrong with you?
I probably need to get that one. I like the circles a lot. Those are fun. And the different words. Ooh, the circle with a star. All right. And then
Distracted.
distracted. And here's another one. If you could use ornaments. I think that would be really
That
cute
would be
too.
neat. I like that
It's
idea.
got snowflakes.
That's
so those
holiday
are
drawings.
and then here
This is a
talking about
preview.
postage. Yes, this one is called Post Perfect. So you could use that as well. It's got some postage. It's got the cancel.
And is it next Monday that you're using this?
Yep.
Aren't you, Teresa?
Next Monday, I'm gonna show some things made with this. So, but this would be another good thing that you could do a collage if you want to do a kind of a postage theme. I'm thinking he's looking at a letter, so that's why I went with the postage kind of theme on that one.
So if you look at Teresa's collage, she kind of starts with the tag and the Santa stamp. So she's got two a little bit bigger items that are
Yep.
offset, and then she just tucked in and added smaller things just to make the composition.
Yeah. And I did use the honeybee tag again, which I think is a really nice set. I've got this little one here, and I used this big one. It wasn't quite long enough, so I just trimmed some off the bottom and moved it down because I wanted it to hang out the bottom of that piece. And then I also used this.
That's a classic.
This one's Ticket Booth. This one has a stamp set that goes with it, but I use the die way more than I use the stamp
you
set.
really?
Yes,
Oh my
I
gosh.
do. I just love, like you can see, here's the big one, so it's got those little holes in it. I just love the texture, and then along the edge, I inked it there.
So Santa is stamped on one of the Ticket
Yeah,
Booth
this big one
dies.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the North Pole, that's one of the Ticket Booth also,
Yep,
isn't
that's
it?
a Ticket Booth. Yep.
Very, very
So these
cool.
are fun dies to have on hand.
They're
can use all the
basics
time.
to
Yes.
use for lots of
Yep.
different things.
It's good to have basics. Then this next one I did use the tag. This tag I think I'd use the
From
that
Honeybee?
one from Honeybee again. Still using that. So this one was another technique that Tim did, and it's called, what did he call it? He called it, I can't remember what he called, kissing. Where you kiss the stamps. So what you do is you ink up your sentiment, and can you see how there's a plaid image on there?
Oh
So-
my gosh.
Yeah, so what you do is you ink up your sentiment, and then you ink up your whatever your background is, and you kiss it. So you stamp onto the other stamp, and then when you stamp it onto your paper, it has the background image
So
on
would
it.
you have done the green first and then the black?
Yep. So
Okay.
I inked up my stamp with the sentiments with a green, and you want to use an oxide.
I love that. Oh
And then I used a black on my plaid stamp, and I kissed it together, and that made the plaid on the image when I stamped it on my tag.
and then is the holly from the holiday things?
The holly is
that's
so
so
pretty.
clever.
Yeah. So here's the holly right there, and I just stamped a couple in the corner. There's also this little branch with berries on it that that's what I stamped on this one here. It's hard to see.
Oh, I
'cause
didn't even notice
it
that,
fades into
Teresa.
the background. Yeah, I stamped one on each corner with the gray, and just really lightly. I just wanted a little something in there. Details. Mm-hmm. And then I put some black Nouveau drops on my berries, if you can.
Oh, let me get
It's
up
really
here. Let's have a look
lightly.
at that. So you did very small little Nouveau drops.
Yes. And
So
then,
they're
of
very
course, I had
subtle.
to put a little bit of that velvet ribbon on there that I love so much.
There's the velvet ribbon.
Did I staple that on there, too?
You
I
did.
think I
Looks like
did.
another
Yeah.
tiny attacher. I've been
Yeah.
using mine a lot lately. Okay, that's.
And then I splatted it a little bit, too. And that color is, that's
yes,
I
was
used a
wondering,
different
it's kind
green.
of- it's a green.
I used the crushed olive on that one.
Okay.
A little bit of a different Christmas color. You could do any color you want, but when you do the kissing technique, if it's a little bit lighter color, it works a little
Shows
bit
up
better.
better.
And you can use any, background. I stamped the plaid so you all could see. This is the stamp that I used to get the image on the letters. So, but you could use any background stamp to do that.
Well, Bonnie thinks you do a fabulous job of using all your stamps and dies.
Yeah.
And you do.
And then this is another technique that Tim showed in his video, and he called this one smudging, and that's what I'm going to show you. So you can see that all those images are just clustered on there.
Yeah, it's just a pile of stuff.
Plus, I did use my little
postage
stamp again down there on the bottom. Oh, and I guess I used one up here. So you can use whatever you have really to just kind of make a collage. But what you do is you stamp it and then you just smudge it. And I'm just going to show you quick how that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
How that works.
I'm curious about that.
And then I just stamped the sentiment in the middle. It got a little smudgy too. If you use an archival ink, I wanted a red because I really wanted it to pop. I don't have a red archival ink, but if you didn't want that to smudge, you should use an archival ink.
Okay, so we're going to do some smudging?
Yes, we're going to do some smudging.
Yay! I'd like to know how that works. I didn't see the entire video.
And he said to use the distress inks. I know I use oxides a lot, and you guys know how much he loves the oxides. He said to use the regular inks because the oxides, because they're more wet, they soak in faster or something, so they don't smudge as well. So I use the distress. So I used Rustic Wilderness, Aged Mahogany, Fossilized Amber, and Gathered Twigs. These are kind of my go-tos. Aged Mahogany, not so much, but I use it more at Christmas than any other time of year, I think.
Sense, definitely.
It's a really nice, rich red. So those are the colors that I used. So I just have a tag. You know, you want to use a paper that is substantial. You don't want to use really lightweight paper. You don't have to use the heavier kind.
Would cardstock work?
Yeah, cardstock.
80-pound cardstock?
80-pound cardstock is going to be good. But you don't want anything lighter than that. So this tree is just really nice. So I'm just going to put it on there and stamp half on and half off like I did. And just stamp your image. And that's a pretty good image. And then I'm going to take my blending brush.
Away? You do it right away?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And you can always go back and add more if you want, but it just blends out. It's not too hard.
I guess not.
That's it. It's an
what
easy
you're doing
technique.
Is what you did on this tag
Yep,
right here.
that's what I did, just to get the color to smudge out a little bit.
Oh my gosh, Teresa, that's cool.
And you know, I did use I don't know what these are called.
The dome?
The dome ones. Is that? Yeah, mini dome blending foam rather than the flat ones. And these really do work nice.
Work better for this?
For blending because the way the ink sets on the dome, apparently. So let's do another one just so you
I
guys
want to see some more.
I'll get the star
I'm enjoying
out.
this, Teresa. I definitely want to see more.
It's kind of fun.
So Teresa's saying about the blending tool, you can put different foams on it, and the dome foam, which rhymes, is the newer foam, and people do really like it rather than the flat foam. So here, let me show you what a flat foam. This is what comes with your blending tool, and these work just fine, and they're very fine, and we've been using them for years.
Did he come out with these last year?
I think it was last year, and then we had a really hard time getting them, of
Yeah.
course.
Well, we have a couple packages, so if you haven't tried them.
Okay,
So
there's
there's my
fossilized
star.
amber.
That's fossilized amber. You know, you can just stamp it around, ink it around, and you can always go back and, you know, add a little more, like if I wanted to
along
put
the
some on the
edges?
edge, or, you know, if it's not dark enough for you. But it's just kind of fun just to
It is.
do that. Then I just did some. What else did I do?
Teresa, Janet has a message for you.
Yes.
She's impressed you can do inking and blending with white cuffs.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you were. I don't think Teresa was thinking about that at the time.
I wasn't.
She'll have to be careful now.
Yeah. Now I'm like, yeah. Yes, today is my pearl day. I always wear my grandma's pearls on her birthday.
Oh, Teresa, that's sweet. I like your pearls.
Yeah. Well, they're real, and I never wear any of other
I know,
time
but
because I'm like, but you got to get them out, you know.
Sometimes it's hard to find something to wear
Yeah.
with them.
Oh,
and
it is.
Your top is very nice.
Yeah, so this is my pearl top that I can wear it with. There, I'm blending out. So you kind of you can blend the colors together there. The green and the green and the brown kind of blend together. You don't really want a line. You can always go back and put a little more green.
So you think do the domes, are they less likely to make that circle stamp? You know how when you use the round ones?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
I'm going to show the package. Lori wants to see the package again. Here's the mini domed ink foams. And you get 10 and they're $6.99. And you can wash your foams out too.
Oh yeah. Oh look, I forgot that there's a branch with pine cones on it. I guess I
we're
use
gonna
that.
do that?
Yeah. When I was talking about the other two branches, there's one that has really looks like mistletoe or whatever, and then one that looks like a twig.
This is all kind of like inking your backgrounds, but you're not inking your background, but you are inking it with all your little stamps.
I'd never really thought about doing this before until I watched his video.
Elena says, "Happy heavenly birthday to your grandma."
Oh,
so that's
thank you,
really
Elena.
sweet. And then Janet says, "Do you use color families per dome or individual dome for each color?"
I just use color family.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean this will be red, green, yellow, brown. Yeah, and I did do it a little bit on this the Santa too. I blended a little bit
And now a little
after
bit more.
I stamped him.
So Teresa, the Candy has a question about the brushes. Would they work for smudging or did you try it?
I didn't try it. You could try it.
Try it and let us
see,
know how
yes.
it goes.
See if that works. I would assume probably. I have the brushes. I use, like, is she talking about the Tim Holtz ones, I wonder? Or the little mini?
I'm not sure which brushes.
Yeah.
I think just brushes, because it seems like you put a little pressure on the domes to get it to smudge.
Yeah.
So, well, if you try it, report back and let us know how it works.
Let us know. I can try it too, because I mean, if she's talking about the Tim Holtz ones, I have those at home too, so.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that technique, and I'm so glad you did it. Okay. Oh, Elena's got to go to the dentist. All right, we'll see you later, Elena. And Joan
That's it.
Joan says there's a tiny edge to color on the dome when starting out. Oh, so maybe when you first put your ink on it, she experienced, you know how I was asking about
if it makes
that circle?
Yeah, you really, any time that you start a new color, like I'll put some, then, just put some on your mat and just load your brush up.
Oh, that's easier than loading it from the ink pad like I always do.
Yeah. That way then you get, there's a lot of ink on there now. But that way you have color on your pad just to kind of start. And if you switch colors, then you can do the same thing. And I'll do that sometime. Like if I'm using mustard, let's say on this one, then I would just do that on a scratch piece of paper before I go to my regular
to
paper.
get some of the
just
ink
to
out.
get the fossilized amber out and make sure I'm getting the right color that I really want on my brush.
Well, Teresa, that is amazing. And now we all know how to do ink smudging.
Yeah.
And
It's just a fun.
Teresa grabbed all kinds of different stamp sets if you were wanting to check out some of the stamps that we have.
Yeah. These are
And-
just some background sets. I think these would be really cool to do that kissing technique.
Oh, yes, with your letters or
Yep.
anything. It wouldn't have to be a letter. It could be
Yeah.
a shape.
Yeah. Yeah,
And we've
I
got
think
our
that
tags.
Christmas tree would be fun to, the Christmas tree in the set would be fun to do that with.
And she's got her stencils here that she used on this tag to make her stripes, her candy cane stripes. And the tiny attacher and the ink blending and the foams. And then everybody, I think, knows Teresa's, I don't want to say problem, but her obsession with the ribbon. And lots of stamps. Oh, are you going to do it, Teresa?
Well, I can try.
Here, she's going to try it.
I was
so
afraid of
brave.
another fail. I know.
Okay, so you just put black archival ink on the plaid.
Yeah. We'll see if I have room here. We'll see if it works.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I brought one just in case. Okay, so what you need is a block.
So Teresa's doing the kissing. Peggy
We'll
asked
see.
if you could explain it.
Yeah.
She's
try
actually trying
again.
it on the fly here, so that's really nice of you, Teresa. So she's inking up the tree first. And Teresa recommended a lighter color for this part.
And then you're just going to take an archival. So that was an oxide, and you're going to take an archival ink on there. And then we're going to kiss. We'll see what happens.
I know, it's going to be good.
I wasn't very particular about where the plaid showed up.
Oh, it worked.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay, so let's get up close here. So you can see she's got a plaid tree. I love it. So she's put the regular ink on her stamp. Then she took a stamp with archival ink and she kissed it.
Yeah, that was
and
fun.
then stamped. And that's how she did these letters here.
I just thought the tree was a
Way
nice,
to do it on the
was
fly,
a big
Teresa.
image.
You're
Yeah,
brave.
Yeah, I know. I was afraid.
Yeah, that turned out neat. And you could do lots of different backgrounds.
Oh, you really need to clean this off in between, because you don't want your oxide. I might be more particular this time of where I stamp it.
Yeah, so she's going to look at the stamp. Are you going to kind of center the plaid or something?
Yes. That was driving me crazy that it was off center.
Someone else is worried about your white cut.
OxyClean.
Especially with archival ink.
Yeah. Well, that worked.
Yeah.
That's a little bit less. Maybe I need to re-ink my black.
That's so cool that you showed that. You guys,
Yeah.
that wasn't even planned, and Teresa did that
That's
for
fun.
us. That is so cool.
Just a different thing to try. But you need to have a background stamp for that. You could use anything, polka dots or whatever Christmas.
Here's some of the backgrounds that Teresa brought, which like the wood grain. I think that would be pretty cool.
Oh,
with
the wood grain
cobblestone.
would be fun, wouldn't it? I have that one at home.
I think you have a lot at home, Teresa.
Yeah.
Well, Teresa, thanks a million. That was really a great demo. I love all your cards. They're so cool, and the hearts and the thumbs up are just consistently rolling
Good.
in.
And I'll be back on Wednesday to show my 12 Days of Christmas cards.
Yes, that's going to be great.
Before I start sending them in the mail.
Well, sending them in the mail, that's the key thing.
It is.
And Janet said you must be a member of the Chicken Club because you can wing it when you need to. we must all be. We do a lot of winging here. So just a reminder that Dawn is here tomorrow, and she's going to show the stencil from Pink Fresh to make trees and mountains. And Teresa's here Wednesday, then Diane's here Thursday, and Friday was Becky's coming in. Chris, thanks for sharing that adorable Doodlebug project. And remember that while supplies last, we've got a free scrapbook, cards, and Today magazine for any $50 purchase, whether it's in the store, over the phone, or online. And we will automatically ship the online ones, or the phone ones if we're shipping. So thank you, everyone. And again, thank you for that wonderful donation we were able to make to the local Iowa Food Bank. That's going to help out a lot. And sometimes I think it's nice when they get monetary donations because they can fill in with the things that they need. So have a wonderful day, a wonderful Monday. If you're in the area, stop in. We'd love to see you. And we'll be back tomorrow morning.